Hello, I'm John Hurd. I do the soil fertility extension work, and here at this 4R nitrogen on canola day, I am going to talk about rates that we use in Manitoba. One of the first thing is canola is a high user of nitrogen to produce a healthy plant versus one that may be malnourished with yellowing of lower leaves, very much stunted. We need a lot of nitrogen. Thumb rule we use is 3 to 3.3 pounds of nitrogen needs to be supplied per bushel that we produce. So for many people, that's a good enough thumb rule that they'll use that along with their expected yield. And where that nitrogen supply can come from would be the soil nitrate, nitrogen, manure if you have it, but supplemented with fertilizer. I want to show you where our fertilizer guidelines come from here, because we do have rather aggressive guidelines. In 2008, fertilizer prices were very high, so we were encouraged to develop an economic calculator, but we needed data. So we had from Westco 34 sites comparing hybrid versus open pollinated canola with the amount of nitrogen required here and the average yields in the graph. So at highest nitrogen, we were producing over 50 bushels average with the hybrid. The open pollinated canola, not as high yield potential, and it flattened out at an earlier point. Where we've gone with this, we can use this data in the next slide here in an Excel calculator where we input the fertilizer type and the cost, the soil test nitrogen, and then down here the canola price. And what that allows us to do in Excel on here, it actually calculates the optimum nitrogen rate to give the greatest return to the farmer for that last dollar, gives a dollar of canola for the dollar spent on nitrogen. It's in the blue here, so at $10 bushel canola, it ends up being somewhere between 150 and 160 pounds of nitrogen. Now, I am accused by my counterparts in other provinces and the Canola Council of having very aggressive rates, but we tend to be very aggressive whenever we get high canola prices and modest fertilizer prices. If people want to be risk averse, they can put on less if their land is poorly drained or somewhat, or they're less averse. And the impact of putting on less nitrogen is simply a reduction in expected yield, but pretty modest reductions at this point. That's all I have to say about that. Enjoy the rest of your tour.